All right. Hello, everybody. It is Badger Wild, and we're back with space engineers building a missile destroyer. So, we last left off here. We got most of the front basically done. So, the front section of this ship is now fully complete. Other than the turrets, we're basically done with the front, and we're getting the sides and bottom section of the ship just finishing it up. Trying to come up with as many ways to finish this as possible so that when it's done, sorry if I sound like I'm just slurping spit right now. I have a massive canker. I have like a canker sore around the tip of my tongue right now because I bit into a piece of pizza that's way too hot. Let me say something. Pizza Hut may say no one out pizzas the Hut, but Domino's definitely did a good job. So, continuing with this, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start continuing the back section of this ship and delete these engines here and try to see if we can't get the engines on this to actually build some good engines for this because it's going to need them. And that's probably what we're going to be working on here for probably the next hour. That's what I'm going to be doing. So, without further ado, let's get started here. So, originally, I wanted to put the engines right here and have like a set of nacelles coming off. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with 4 regular nacelles and we're going to cut these engine sections here right off the back end of it. So I'm going to delete these, obviously. And we are also going to delete this as well. And delete this because I've got an idea on what I want to do. I just haven't had the chance to really sit down and figure it out. So, like I said, we're going to have to go in and just... I'm on now. And there we go. Okay, that'll work out good. Now, the only other thing I need to figure out is what I'm going to do up in these particular areas of the ship. And we'll figure out this internal area later. Right now, we need to shore up this section. Okay, so I've got an idea on how this is going to work. And this is creating a problem for the back. So we're probably going to be running a nacelle off here just to try and cover this area up. So let's go ahead. We're just going to continue this particular section right here, just like we did before. Just run that all the way to the back here. And then, whoops, run that there, just to give us a nice little area to work with. So that's what we need. We need a nice area to work with. Now I am running this a bit. Let's just kind of run this to here. Make sure we're not running into any other issues. Actually, let's wait on this, because I may provide some filler. Right now, what I want to do is I want to try and get as much of this bottom skin on as possible, so I can see how exactly this is going to go together. Okay. Actually, while we do this, let's go ahead and save ourselves some time. Now, the back end of this is going to be an interesting... That's going to be an interesting fix, because I don't know how I'm going to fix that. Engineering is looking good, but I don't know how we're going to fix this to where it all looks good. We're just going to keep going from here until I can figure something out later, which is the simplest way I can figure out to handle it. I'll come up with something. Add that there. Add that there. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. Add that. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Why did you do that? We'll fill this up real fast. There we go. And that's looking better. That's looking much better. So, as I'm building this here, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with the back end. I think what I may do. I think what we may do is we may round the back end of this. Oh wait, no, we don't need to. I don't need to do all that. Now then, let's figure out on this side where that's going to go. We're going to add that there. Hold up. Just like so. to do that or not. I know I want to do this. Let's go to 4. No, that's not 4. That's not 4 either. There we are. There now. We're doing that. No. Now this will start up the first nacelle, and then I'll have the second nacelle. Let's go ahead and put that block in there. I just saw it and realized we hadn't gotten it done yet. Actually, let's go ahead and lengthen this a little bit more. I want it to be a little bigger. Go from here. Nope. Not like that. Let's go ahead and we'll allow this to come in that way. That's not entirely even, is it? Right then. How are we going to make this work? Oh, we'll do what we did a minute ago. I'll do that, and back number 4. And then, bada bing, bada boom. We got that going. And that'll be the first nacelle to connect in. This is going to be fun. If I do this correctly, and the nacelle is going to be, if I do this nacelle, it's going to be pretty big. I'm not going to lie. And we're basically going to be running this thing on 2 separate hydrogen tanks at the same time. So, let me think here. Let's go ahead and run our piping. Okay, I think that'll work. That'll make the nacelle come to about there. So, let's see. The next thing we got to do to make this work like I'm wanting it to work. There we are. Nice little T-junction right there. Then that. That. And that. So what this is going to do And the way that I'm setting this up, it's going to give us a certain degree of firepower, or not firepower. What am I thinking? It's going to give us, go ahead and just put all these in the same area. Crates, rockets, tanks. There we go. And there. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to go to 2 small hydrogen tanks on each end. We're going to add another hydrogen tank right here. For the front. And that gives us 4. So for each one of these, for each side, we need 16 hydrogen tanks per nacelle. Which means we need, at the very least, 4 more. And that'll be enough for the first engine. Oh wait, no, I don't need that. Well, the question is, can I go up one more? It's going to really push it. Let's not do that. We're going to end that right about there. That's where that nacelle is stopping. Ah, stop that. This is going to be a little bit long for a ship. But it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. I need just one more. Oh, there we go. And there. And there. I know what you're saying. Those nacelles don't look too impressive compared to the rest of the ship. And don't worry, we're getting there. We're getting to that point. What we need right now is we need at least 16 nacelles. That's 8 on each end. And then we're going to modify these probably a little bit to make this work a little bit more efficiently. Which means I may still do something here and then beef this area up just a bit to cover it. But now for the big fun. Put a conveyor sort of there. There. And then we do the same thing back here. Because what this will do is it'll give our engine pods here for all this a bit of extra room. Oh yeah, I still have to put those one deals in. Hold on. We almost got it. We almost got it. There we are. Now this creates a channel point. We'll have engines being able to pull. I am going to have to go over this ship and see if I can find another spot to put some more engines at. Because I just realized we don't have the engine room, or I've realized I don't have the engine space for up and down engines. I've got front and back, I don't have side to side, and I don't have up and down, which is going to be an issue. That's going to be an issue. I did not incorporate that into the build, and I'm starting to regret my decisions because that doesn't seem like it was a very good decision right now, at least. I may end up opening this section because I do know that there is something right in here. At least I think there is. Could just add some kind of push bar or something on the side that'll help me move it around. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. For now, let's go ahead and get this thing into place. Now the kicker with nacelles like these, or hydrogen nacelles, is you gotta keep a corridor block in there somewhere. Because if you don't, holy crap, will you have problems. Because what happens is, if this ever detonates, it only takes out these two blocks and this block above it, and the block underneath. This still provides power to the system, so you will lose a small amount of your hydrogen in exchange for some good stuff happening. I think I know where I can put my gyroscopes at, in the back of the ship. That'll work out perfectly. Now, to do this again, but I kind of want to, looking at it now, I kind of want to cut this off. Copy. Move this out here. Wait till I stop moving. And then simply delete. Then while we're at it, we will copy. Add that there. And then I shall simply delete. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I want to take this, I want to drop down one, stair step it in, and make a sort of a drop point that drops it by, let's say, that'll drop it by, say, 1. Like so. And then I'm going to reconfigure all of this again. Yeah, I know, I'm cutting out stuff. Oh crap, what is Badger doing? I need to figure some things out here. Hang on, folks. Do it like that. That's going to be where the one area goes. So let's go ahead and grab this. Actually, let's cut this off here. Let's extend this by 1. And then curtail that downward. Like so. I'm going to then grab this nacelle with a copy. Boom. And that causes the nacelle to lower a little bit. And then we should be able to do the same with the other side. There. You're probably wondering what's the point of lowering this. I'm getting there. Okay, just give me a minute. I'm getting there. So now I need to basically skin this. Let's go ahead and skin this entire thing a little bit. I want to put some skin on it because I want to see what that's going to look like. Okay. See, that's looking interesting already. So now we have a nacelle there. And I'm kind of wanting to take this out. There we go. We go out 2, drop 1 down. As we pull down like this on a much further level. Go ahead and grab that again. Now I'll have to modify these a bit. I wonder if that's enough maneuvering room. No, it's probably not. At least not for the second nacelle, because it's going to be almost hugging the other. Well, I say that. I can make it work. I can make it work. If anyone can make it work, I can make it work. There we are. All right. Let's make sure we hook this up properly. All right. So now we have this number going on. Check that out. Like before, I want to see what all I can do with this thing. Okay. Now, what can I do here with this? We do need these to be thinner, obviously. Daniel Tusa. Tusa? I want to say that's how your name's said. What's the name of this game? This game is Space Engineers. Space Engineers is a game where you can build and make anything you want. Um, but yeah, man. Tell me what your favorite sci-fi is while we're here. I love doing this. Trust me, it's fun. While I sit here and figure out how I'm gonna make all this work. I could stay like this, I suppose. I guess I could do something else. So seriously, man, just oh well, seems to have gone. At least it's what it's saying. It's saying one person's watching now. That's probably me. I tell you what. In case you come back and look at this again, here's what Space Engineers does. Space Engineers lets you build anything with blocks. That's the name of the entire game. Let's go Enterprise. Let's get stupid and go with this one. For those that are watching, and I can pull just about any sci-fi out of my rear end right now. Even ones I don't have in my. That's just my personal page that I put the workshop on. So here you have I believe the Enterprise D. If it'll paste in. And there we go. And unlike Minecraft, where you build something and it kind of just sits up there, you need mods. Space Engineers lets you do things automatically. So this entire ship right here, not only can we go inside of it, yes, I know it's not as big, that's a destroyer. This is a capital grade ship. Let me find usually one on the side here on these builds. There it is. You don't realize how big this sucker is until you actually get up next to it. Apparently I have the caps lock on. Yeah, we can run all through this ship. Big as it is, I can go straight to the bridge, I suppose. Wherever that is. Oh, that's not the bridge. This is where the bridge should be at. It's just an observation deck, unfortunately. Let's head on down here. I think. Yeah, here we go. We're going to hop in the helm. I'm going to press V. We're going to. Well, I'd like to pull out, but the dang Enterprise is so freaking large, there's no way I can get away from it. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this. And as you can see, it's very slow moving, but we can control the Enterprise. The best thing I think about this particular build, if I remember correctly, I believe this particular build actually has saucer separation like in the show. So, let's see. Why can't I? I have no means of moving in or out. Let's see here. One of these buttons, if I recall. Nope, that's not it. Nope. Nope. I guess it doesn't have saucer separation. But you see, we have access to this giant mega ship. You can also upgrade and give it weapons and everything, and just do whatever the heck you want with it. It's also fully destroyable, so if I want to start blowing stuff up on it, yeah, that can very easily start happening as well. This is a much older ship in Space Engineers. We got a whole lot of stuff that is effective now on these on this game. And the cool part is Space Engineers 2 is out, and Team has been like, anything that Space Engineers 1 is doing, we're going to implement into Space Engineers 2. And they're kind of doing stuff in Space Engineers 1 unless it's specific to Space Engineers 2. So volumetric water and things like that will be in Space Engineers 2. Whereas we're probably going to get some very odd looking mod when it comes in finally. But looking at this. I'm trying to figure out how I can make this work better. I think what I want to do is I want to start cutting off these side blocks here. and replace them with a block that's much thinner. So we can save space. Oh, hold up now. You don't want to cut everything off here. Just these side blocks. So yeah, Space Engineers is one of those games where you just get in and build whatever you want. We'll go with 3. I'm going to go with a half armor block here. We may add some mass to this thing as I shape it. We're first going to start by going for a simple shape and then incorporating that simple shape, working it, blah, 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 blah. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to do that. There we go. Because that's what I want to do. I want to first make these things look nice and make them match the ship to an extent. And that's going to be difficult. So, let's see. Nacelles on a destroyer of this size. How will I make that work? Hmm. Hmm. Especially a destroyer of this type of build. How will we make that work? How, Badger, how? How will you make that work? Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out here, folks. Mm, hmm. Well, on the one hand, on the one hand, I could pull this forward a bit. Let me see what I can do here. Hmm. I need to figure out how I'm going to do the top also, which is also going to be a difficult task. If I do this, it's going to make it too bulky. There's that there. Like I said, we're just figuring out the shape here. Work on one of these while I'm at it. We're doing that. Like I said, super fun game. There's all kinds of mods to support this game. You can pretty much play the thing however you want to play it. This is how Space Engineers works, man. Now, for the fun part. Just shaping the front out. That's all I want to do at the moment. I want to get a decent shape going. Get something that looks kind of nice. And just experiment a little bit with it. It's a very interesting destroyer. I have to admit, it looks interesting. Let's see. I kind of don't like this. And I really want to go with... See, I like where that's going. That's not bad. I like where that's going. What I don't like is this top part. I removed only that. I do want it to kind of come over a bit, but not too much. This is going to have a negative effect on armor, but holy crap, it's going to look dang cool. Because I think what I want to do is I want to reconfigure this. Like so. Like I said, a lot of this stuff when you're working Space Engineers is just you taking something that looks pretty good and then making it look really good. That's about it. Now, we will need some detail blocks, obviously. That shape's coming out good. I think what I want to do on the back here is my ion thrusters out. Not those, not those. These. There we go. And we're going to stack in about 3 of them here per unit so that I can build something on the back there and make that look a little more interesting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to beef this up a bit on this one end at the very back, and then I'm going to add maybe a few things on the side just to affect the shape a bit more. Need to figure out this front. I don't like the way that looks. And then once I get that done, I got to figure out where I'm going to put some side-to-side thrusters, and then need some up and down thrusters, and then we'll be set. We'll have ion propulsion, regular ion propulsion drives just to push the ship around. And then we'll have other systems in place to make it all work. I may even add a little bit of extra defensive implementations or something. I don't know. But right about here, I want to turn this into a ram scoop somehow. Or make it look like a ram scoop. I don't know how to do that. Let's see how we can make that work. Ugh, getting tired. Getting tired, unfortunately, folks. Hmm. Dang. I'm just trying to figure out what to do next, and it's not coming to me. Let's see here. Number 5. Actually, no. Let's go with number 3. I'm gonna transition that upward real quick. Okay. That might work. That can work. Okay, there's that. I don't think that's going to work. I don't think it's going to look good. I may be better off just doing... Actually, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to make both the front and the back end look the same. Because why the frick not? Now, here's what I'm going to do here. Go to 9. This is going to be interesting. I can just tell you right now, this is going to be interesting when I get done with it. So, let's go to here. That might work. It's not gonna look as good as like right here. So we're gonna go there. And here, like so. We're gonna go number 5. Number 4, which has this cute little block here. And then number 6. Will that look good? I don't know. That'll be the front. It's looking good. Probably could compress that in a little more. That's looking different. That's not. That doesn't look good at all. Let me think here. Getting interesting, this is. I'm gonna delete a little bit here because I think I need to make this a little bit smaller. I may have deleted something over there I wasn't supposed to. Better yet, let's take these 2 back. And we're gonna reconfigure this outer side here. And we're gonna delete all that. We're gonna do the same over here because I know I want to get this stuff done to like that at least. And we'll probably delete these last 3 here as well. Shorten things down, give us a little bit more to work with. Okay. 6. There we go. And because of the mirror tool on here, I only have to work with 1 set of nacelles, not several. There we go. So now we've got those figured out. Then all I've got to do now is just do what I was doing before, or go back in the direction I was heading, which is to Yeah, that's how this is going to work. So we'll do the same thing over here. And then repeat the process on the back here. And yes, I know what people are saying. Badger, you didn't do the thing on the other side. And you'd be correct, I didn't. That's because I'm going to try and complete all that as I go. Now, we don't need an entire deal because we're going to try and pull this up. I'm thinking about going with something that looks like the Normandy's nacelles. No. No. Okay, now for number 3. All right, we'll just go from here. Now, yes, that works out beautifully. There we go. All right, so that's working. I'll just work my way around these ships. Like I said, we're going to stack some of these in there too, just like so. There you are. Casual bot. Hey, how's it going, man? Okay, if you're just here, here's the kind of design we're looking at. Let me get up here where the sun won't shine too bad. This is what we're looking at here. This is how this is going to overall look when it's coming at you. It's going to have a very unique silhouette. You see it coming in, it's going to be a very uniquely silhouetted destroyer. So it's going to have that cool, unique look. I'm just trying to shape the nacelles as best I can. It's not been easy. I'll say that. It's not been easy. But I think I'm getting somewhere with this. Number 4. Let's go from here to there. There. And do the same thing back here with these. And yes, I have the mirror tool equipped right now so I can make sure that this works out. But yeah, this is what we're doing right now. Eric Evans, sloped nacelled like I did on the Luna would look cool. The nacelles are kind of sloped. They're going to stair step down, so it gives it kind of an odd look. At least that's the plan. It appears I've missed some stuff though as I was working on this. Okay, so let's go number 6 here. Now, why are you there? All right, we can go back here. Just trying to make these look really cool. When this thing comes at you, it's, oh no. Look what's coming. So the one problem I'm going to run into right now is where that door is and where these engines are. So hopefully that doesn't become too much of a problem. I do think I'm only going to go up one more block, though. There we are. That's getting done. Legit. Oh, wait. By the way, Exosoups versus the Gloom is legit. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure it is. You need like a whole lot of firepower in that nonsense. That nonsense is just, oh, good Lord. Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to let that slope back down handily. And that'll give us some weird, nifty looking nacelles at least. Okay, we're going to add that there. And now for this last little bit here. Like I said, we'll just keep adding and taking away, carving little bits and little bits at a time. Taking it from something kind of cool to something really interesting. Is that done? And that'll be those tips of the nacelles finished. Boom, check that out. Now that's looking a lot better. I may thicken one or two of these a little bit going down, probably the central point. Ran all heavy cav squad and killed like 12 dragons. Nonsense indeed. Wow, that's awesome. Casual bot, some light panels on the back cells could add so afterglow to the thrusters look nice. If I was doing a Star Trek build, yeah, but this is going to be more of a kind of give it the look of the Normandy to an extent. But we're going to try and keep it looking more, a little more casual, I guess would be a good way to say it. Well, let's go ahead and do this. Actually, no, we'll do that right here. And we'll do it here and there. And one more up there. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to do this twice, this twice. I think I just messed that up over there. Yeah, I didn't want that there. Want that there. Number 4 here. So it makes it flow. That's the only reason we're doing this, is just so we have that nice little flow to it. As you can see, it's starting to get a shape to it. A little bit. It's getting a little bit of a shape to it. Now I'm going to do up here. I'm going to cut this section out. We'll add that there. And there. That kind of beefs up the front section of the ship a bit. Makes it look good. That'll work right there. And I'll just have to do this on the other side. Now I am going to fix where the nacelles are kind of weird looking right there. There. That's figured out. Now let's go ahead and just run some long stuff here. Tear a couple pieces off here, like so. Doing that, doing that. All right, hold up now. There we go. That's looking good. I just gotta get the bottom now. Ugh. You can tell I am getting tired, folks. It's like 11:53. I'm gonna try and get this done. Bear with me. May do something interesting on the bottom there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come up with a way to make it all look interesting. But the nacelles are getting finished. That's gonna give us a whole lot of distance with that thing. And I'll have to paint them a certain way and everything else, make them all look real interesting. Now, I think with the center section here, I may do something different. And I think what we might do, let's cut that out. And we'll cut one block ahead to about a block there. Let's see what I got in decorative stuff. See how that looks. Daka. Actually, that would look pretty cool right there. If I can make it all tie in good, and that's gonna give me some issues tying in. But that looks this is pretty awesome right there. Things are actually getting interesting. Look at that. Now what I can also do I know. Right there. That's cool. Vent porting. Whoops, that wasn't right. That ain't right at all, right there. That wasn't supposed to happen. Chat, that wasn't supposed to happen. But I made a mistake somewhere. We're going to have to go fix it. Yeah, that's looking better. That's looking a lot better. Here we go. That. Wait, where did I put that? No, that doesn't go there. No. Oh, I put those on the wrong side. That's what was going on. Let's get that one. There we go. There we go. Oh, how did I do that? Oh, what fresh hell is this? Oh, yeah. There we are. Just a bit more. And before y'all ask, I have a plan. Whether it's a good plan or not, I don't know. Okay, and let's go back to those pipes we had a minute ago. There we go. It's looking good, looking good, looking good. And it's working, folks. It's getting there. But unfortunately, it is 12:02, and I gotta go to bed. We have gotten a lot more done. Nacelles are taking shape. We just got to do a little more shaping to the actual pylons which hold them, and then shape the back. Finish up the landing pad section up top of the ship. Do a few minor details. Add some up and downward thrusters. I don't think this thing is going to be able to go into atmosphere. Plus, it doesn't really have to. I can just fire from a distance, and it should just enter the atmosphere automatically. Well, it's got my nacelle design incorporated into it. That is a little over two hydrogen tanks worth of hydrogen right there. And all I got to do is work some other stuff on it, make it look a little bit better. But yeah, we've got missiles. We're going to have specialized guns. We're going to have even more equipment, and this thing is just looking nicer and nicer by the second. Now, the nacelles look good. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys decide whether we keep the nacelles we got. If you want me to keep the nacelles, tell me so in the comments. If you don't want me to and you want me to try something a little different, give me a suggestion in the comments. We can incorporate that in the next video. But yeah, that's going to be it for this installment of the Destroyer build. We've got all kinds of goodies on this. We got a lot of work to do on it, but it'll get done. It'll get done. I may take Thursday and just start live streaming in the morning and in the afternoon just so we can get a lot more done to it. I also am planning on live streaming Helldivers probably tomorrow and Friday. So if you guys want to see some Helldivers action, we're going to be doing that. Hook up with Dog Soldier and some other two randoms, whoever wants to join up with us, I suppose, and see what kind of shenanigans we can get ourselves into. But until then, folks, I am Badger Wild. Saying stay safe, stay frosty. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to help out the channel, just buy me a soda every so often. You can do so for 99 cents a month. You can keep me stocked on Dr. Pepper, which will help me get going. 99 cents, there's actually, it's actually pretty easy for me to get 99-cent soda. So I just go to a machine and get it. It's not that big a deal. There are actual soda machines in some small towns where I'm at where they sell soda pop for like literally 50 cents. So you go in there and you can just buy me a soda and keep the channel going. Also, part of memberships, I am going to put, if you do the membership, by the way, before I forget, if you do the memberships, they are, like I said, it's 99 cents a month. You're going to get early access to all the videos. As soon as I put them up, you'll be able to view them immediately. Grexion has been going through just checking out. He's like the first. I'm complimenting that because he's the first guy that's jumped on the membership, and he is just going through every time I drop a video. Boom, he's there. He's there checking it out. He's there just looking at it like, yeah, okay, yeah, this thing looks awesome. I like the stepping down and how thick the nose is. Yeah, the nose, if you don't know, the nose up here is actually two separate grids set up into one singular grid. And so that gives us an extra double amount of firepower in the front. So it makes it look nice. But like I said, early access, and I think I'm going to do probably a once a month build stream where, or some type of event. I don't know how we're going to do that. We're going to come up with something. And so every so often, we're going to go in, membership, we're going to look around at some concepts and see if I can't do something fun with y'all. So I've been looking at it for a while. I thought, there's a lot of things people don't do. Used to when Space Engineers first came out, when this whole game first ever came out, everyone was doing Star Wars runs. They were doing Star Trek runs. We were pulling out uh, Paris class frigates from Halo. And since then, a lot of things have been improved upon. We can do a whole lot of things different. We can have a whole lot more fun. Grexion and me were talking, and we were thinking about some type of run if we get enough members going that we could grab some of the membership in and maybe some subs while we're at it. And what we'll do is we'll get you guys in, um, and we'll basically do a Star Wars run. Because with the event controller and all this stuff, we can actually make legit vanilla A wings. And I've already got a legit vanilla A wing. We can have vanilla X wings where the wings actually open and close. I know that sounds awesome. So they'll legit open and close, and you guys can fly in one of those. We can actually open those suckers up, and they'll actually fly like they're supposed to. And we'll actually be able to pull off like a Rebels versus the Empire. Grexion was showing me something he's got. He's actually got a TIE fighter that is big enough to put some AI into. And we would actually have several AI TIE fighters on the server just jump up and come out of a ship and come after us as we're attempting to make a few runs at, like, I don't know, we'll do some kind of raid on an Imperial shipyard or something like that. And we'll throw in a couple of Imperial vessels and have to fight our way through. Do we need to use mods? I don't know. We can do the whole thing vanilla, or we can add some mods so we can have like blaster cannons and small torpedoes and stuff, and just take a few simple replacements on the R95, uh, the A wing that I got, and then we could actually build some interesting stuff while we're in there. You'd be able to build a whole lot of cool stuff. The only problem I've got with the system is I can't build a legit effective B wing, but we may be able to do that. We may be able to build legit B wings. That may be the next set of runs where we're going to just start building legit ships, vessels. We may build a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff. We've got an A wing. We need at least an X wing, a Y wing, and possibly a B wing, but I don't know how that would work out. So we'll just have to see. I may do a survival run where I build a B wing. I don't know. We may do that. We're talking about survival run too. Me and the guys are. So anyway, if all that works out, we'll do it. But if not, oh well. Oh well, we tried. But anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Also, remember, we are still taking comments on what to name this destroyer class. So if you want to jump in, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to be a subscriber. Be nice if you were. Trust me, I got cool stuff coming out all the time. You're going to see it, like I said, you're fixing to see 3 good long Space Engineers videos pop up. Um, Stuff on how to do beginning things. It's going to be a new playlist I'm going to run on, which are just going to be tips on just baseline stuff that will make your survival playthrough run easier. That'll be like how to set up certain things. Right now, I've got 2 videos going on. If you drop on an Earth-like planet, you're in the survival pod that parachutes down, giving you an idea of where everything is, because we got new people coming into the game all the time. Great little survival thing. Teach them how to do all this, where everything's at. And then the second video is basically how to get that jump base, which is, as we all know professionally, all of us professional space engineers have known for years, that you will then build a smaller base to then jump to your bigger base, which is your transitional base. And so I show a very simple way of building it, and then an easy way also of adding ore to it and getting it going. I'll then also show off, as you build your base, how you should probably run the system. So that when you set up your assemblers and your refineries and all that stuff, how to set it all up to where you're not going to have things stuck in one spot. We're going to go through like the chain of production, through the production line, and we're going to start with where the miner comes in at. And I'll probably be using one of my auto miners. You'll see one of my auto miners coming in and just dropping off some stuff, and then I'll start running that through the system and showing you how to get from point to point B, and also how to set up set systems up to where, as you are working them, they're only going to pull certain stuff. Just show you how to do that stuff to where you don't accidentally overwhelm your system and you've got parts everywhere. You can just put the parts where you want them to go, when you want them to go. But like I said, that's going to be part of the thing that I do in there. Someone has already suggested to call this thing the Buzzard. So that's going to be a fun one right there. If it works out. If not, oh well. Someone may come up with an even better one. But as of right now, we're going to be getting this done. I've got to, like I said, I got to strengthen those pylons going to the nacelles. If we keep the nacelles, then we got to fix the back, build up the inside of the ship where the bridge is, and I think add thrusters to where we can thrust around with it, to where the ship can maneuver good. And then once all that's finished, it'll be done. This is just a large class of destroyer now, so it's in the larger than normal class of destroyer. It's primary main gun. For those of you that are new, wanting to know, you'll note on top of this thing, you'll see some little squares on top, about 10 of them, in a 2 rows of 5. We're able to launch missiles from those and just send them at the target. Just don't even care. Those missiles can fly in and they can do catastrophic damage to a ship, because they actually will punch into the ship, and once they punch in, they will just simply detonate inside. They'll just knock massive holes in another ship. We're able to launch 10 of those and have them in the air, and even better, underneath. Let me show you. Underneath here. Oh, I forgot. Underneath here, we have up to 3 F-302 fighters that can flip out their wings and just go to town. And when I get done, each one of these fighters is going to have all their systems renamed from 1, 2 to 3. But you'll be able to come down as a soldier. You'll be able to come down. You'll be able to walk these catwalks to each individual fighter. And so when this sucker comes into play, it's going to be deploying god awful amounts of missiles to an area. It's going to just destroy things. But like I said, be sure to check out the stuff that's coming out. Going to be doing, like I said, trying to get some cool stuff going on the channel so we can actually do some nifty stuff. I may actually do some modifications to those top 2 plates too, because I got an idea just now came to my mind, and I think, oh, that's a pretty good idea. I may have to try that, because I think I have the room to do it. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But as usual, like I said, and as I'm trying to do, because I keep stopping and rambling every so often, I am Badger Wild, saying stay safe, everyone, stay frosty. Thank you all for being on this build stream. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here, and I thank you all for that. And as usual, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.